What's up, everybody? Welcome to Gamescast now, episode 64, topic 1. I'm Alex, and this is our conversational gaming show, a show that normally airs every other week, Monday and Wednesday. Now, I know this is not Monday, but we've had a lot of videos this week, and we'll continue to, so we've kind of moved around Gamescast. But normally, Gamescast is 2 times a week. This is the first episode. Actually, we're going to have a third topic on Saturday, so I'm very, very excited for that. We got a big thing coming. Watch my podcast now live, episode 99, topic 3, to learn about what I'm going to be doing for the third topics of Gamescast. I'm very, very excited, but let's jump into the topic. So on this channel, on these Gamescast topics, I like to talk a lot about if there'll be another game in a franchise. And I do this with a ton of games, and you think one day I'll eventually run out, but I always have things to talk about. And I've got new ideas for games that I definitely do want to talk about. In this video, I want to talk about The Evil Within. Now, this is actually, kind of a Halloween-ish, it's a horror game, a shooter horror game. This would have actually worked really well back in October when all the topics were Halloween horror-oriented. But I kind of, I didn't really know much about Evil Within, and I'll tell the story about that in a second. But I want to talk about if there will ever be an Evil Within 3. And, it may seem like an obvious thing, but we're not exactly sure. Now, Evil Within, I think, personally, is a really, really good franchise. I had played the first game, and I played the first couple hours with my friend Nick, and it was just a weird opening. The game didn't look good upon an initial release, and then they patched it, and they made it look a lot better. But overall, it kind of scared us away, not necessarily because it was scary, although the first game has a lot of horror elements in it, and it does it really, really well. But it was just so weird that it didn't catch us. Now, fast forward to literally 3 weeks ago, I had live streamed Evil Within 2, and I thought it was a solid game in the time that I live streamed. I played it for around 2 hours in all, and I thought it was an okay game. It was a solid game. Well, my girlfriend and I, we continued to watch it on YouTube. We watched Let's Players Play it. So we watched the Rad Brad play the game on YouTube. We watched the entire Evil Within 2, and we watched Markiplier play the first Evil Within. And I gotta say, the franchise is super good. It may not be the most structurally well-made game, the shooting mechanics, but they're all done for a certain reason. I understand that. But the horror elements, the story is very, very good. The characters are very, very solid. Overall, this is a quality franchise that it kind of sucks that I didn't get into them or didn't really care enough about to jump into. So now I'm into it, and now I think I'm ready to say, will there be an Evil Within 3? Well, now I want it, because, before, if I ever made this topic, I wouldn't really care. It would be just because I'm talking about a possible third game in a franchise. We do that for some of these videos, but normally I try and pick games that I care about and can talk about at length for games that I think could get sequels, and because I like to throw in my 2 cents on it. And Evil Within is now a game I can do that. While I didn't play them all the way, I played parts of both of them. I watched the entire thing, and I really do like these franchises, and I think I completely would support an Evil Within 3 and buy it and actually play it. Now, I actually own Evil Within 2 anyway, and maybe one day I'll actually go through and play it myself, but watching it was good enough for me. I think it's definitely a very, very high possibility that we get an Evil Within 3. We got confirmation that a Wolfenstein 3 was happening, but Bethesda has never said whether an Evil Within 3 is going to happen. And is that worrisome? Well, in a way it is a little bit, because, confirming that we are getting a third game in the Wolfenstein franchise, but not in the Evil Within franchise, kind of makes it seem are they on the fence about it? But here's the thing. I feel like because of the way Evil Within 1 was, and the support that it had, even though it probably wasn't the best overall game, and it got a sequel, and I thought the sequel, Evil Within 2 is a very, very good game. Evil Within 1 has its problems, and you can clearly tell it. Evil Within 2 has its problems too, but it's a much better put together game. And I feel like as long as it was supported decently well. Now, it came out last year at a pretty bad time. Actually, Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2 came out within the same month of each other. I don't know why Bethesda did that. It also came out around the same time as Assassin's Creed, as South Park, as so many other games. So I don't know how well Evil Within 2 did, but I assume it did decent. And I do feel like there is a strong core fan base for Evil Within 2. I feel like an Evil Within 3 is in the works. I do feel like an Evil Within 3 will happen eventually. I don't think it would happen over the next couple years. I feel like Wolfenstein may get the treatment to come out first. Obviously, these are different studios, different development teams making them, but under the Bethesda label. I think when it comes to the ranking of those franchises, obviously you got games like Fallout and stuff like that. But when it comes to Wolfenstein and Evil Within, I feel like Wolfenstein definitely does better. And overall, I do feel like Wolfenstein is I think it's praised more. I actually played Wolfenstein 2, and I did not like it very much at all. I'm not really a fan of going into a room and then going into another room and just killing everything that moves room to room to room. I'm not into that. But with Evil Within, that's a different kind of game. They're two very, very different kind of games, and I actually appreciate the work of Evil Within better. I think it's got a better story, a really cool. Now, the concept of Wolfenstein is very good too. But Evil Within deserves it. It deserves a third game, and I just feel like the performance-wise, Wolfenstein it has locked it. Those games critically get reviewed very, very well. So does Evil Within, but Wolfenstein gets reviewed very well, sells very well. There's you could really see the fan base. Evil Within, I feel like, is a little bit smaller. I do honestly feel like if you were to compare sales, at least with these two games, I feel like Wolfenstein outsells Evil Within by a good amount. But I still feel like Evil Within makes its money and is worth continuing. Maybe just for one more game. We'll have to see if they release a third game, whether you get a fourth game. Like where do you stop these games? And that's always interesting too. Where developers actually stop their franchises. Do they change the name? Whatever. I do feel like with a game like a Wolfenstein or Evil Within, I feel like a third game would be the end of it for a little while, and then you would move on to something else. But I definitely think the time, it's very, very possible. I do think Evil Within 3 is in the works and will eventually come out. Wolfenstein probably first. I don't think Evil Within 3 is coming out for another 2-3 years, probably on the next gen consoles in 2020, 2021. But I definitely would be looking forward to it. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of Evil Within 1, Evil Within 2? Do you think we'll ever get an Evil Within 3? And what would you want to see from that game? Let me know in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel podcast. Now, these Gamescast topics, like I said, go up every other week, Monday, Wednesday, and now Saturday. We'll have a new topic for you tomorrow, and I hope to see you guys there.